Hey, hi, hello, what's going on? We are in front of the thumbnail window, back with our boy Frank. Now, if you don't know, this is a kendama that I got at a thrift store, and then I proceeded to do a plethora of different things too, for basically experimentation purposes. Now, here's the deal, I've done a bunch of things, but now I want to get better at stalls on this kendama. And one of the most common ways that people like to improve their stall game is to lick the bevel. But being as I got this kendama at a thrift store used, I'm going to make the health and safety choice to not stick it in my mouth or stick my mouth in any of it. So that leads us to a new trick, which people often refer to as concreting the bevel. And in very simple terms, that is where you take the tama here, and just like you're grating some fresh parmesan reggiano on your pasta, you grind the bevel down on some concrete, and that roughens it up a whole lot, making stalls a whole bunch easier, much easier. So very simply, real quick, I'm gonna attempt a couple bird stalls on this kendama just as like a baseline threshold kind of deal, and then I'm gonna give you a close-up shot at what the bevel actually looks like so you can see it, not from a distance, but from up close, and then we'll go outside and grind it against the ground and come back in, do the same procedure, and see if there's any difference, what it really looks like, what did the concrete do, bada bing, bada boom. So let's see how it is right now unconcreted. Alright, so as it stands, it's pretty slippery. We're going to try to go for a couple of those bird stalls and see what happens. There, so super quick there, as you can see, even with really nice, controlled, perfect, if I do say so myself, execution. It's not the easiest to land and stick a bird on this dama. It's just a bit slippery the way the bevel is. I'm gonna give you a real quick, close look at the bevel so you can see what I'm talking about, and then we'll go outside. And here is your hopefully good enough look at this bevel. Take your screenshots and grain this picture into your mind as the before shot. While you're at it, drop a like and a sub if you haven't already, and we will take this outside. Alright, I apologize for the shakiness, the wind chimes, the helicopter, and the fact that I don't have socks on, and the birds too. They just made an appearance. But we are out here, we have concrete on the floor, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear what we're going to do. Hopefully it doesn't leave like a mark or anything, but here's our fresh bevel, and we'll, oh geez, we'll start grinding. Hopefully you can hear that. Let's get a nice low angle. Now the question is, how far do we go? I think once it's roughed, it should get the point, so let's give it a little more sauce. Couple drags for good measure. Just like parmesan. Alright, that should be enough to at least get the idea. We'll take it inside and see what happened. And like that, we are back underneath a roof with our freshly concreted bevel, which I will show you a little before and after with that table angle that we did before. And you can see the paint and the surrounding bevel is definitely chopped up and a little bit destroyed from the concrete, as we expect. And just to even like with your fingertips to the touch, it has softened up a lot, which I think is where all the benefit is going to come from for these stalls. So I mean, could I have grinded it down even more? Yeah, I probably could have, but I didn't want to go totally balls to the walls on it and take it way down too flat. So I did a little bit to see, maybe if you want to try the concrete trick, you can go light on it. It'll still make your bevel a little bit better for stalls without totally destroying it. But I guess the only way to see if that is true is to give this concreted bevel a little try on those bird stalls and see if it feels any softer. Okay, so with that practical test there, oh, the light's kind of all over the place. It definitely feels better for stalls. I will say that first and foremost, it does feel better. It feels softer and a little bit, and when I say softer, I guess I should explain, like before the concrete landing it like into bird, it feels like really hard. It hits and clinks really hard and slippery, kind of like that. So when I say softer, it lands a little easier, kind of falls into place a little nicer, and that's what I mean by softer. And then a little bit more grip against the stall point with that super roughed up bevel. I think, yes, it does help. It does work to improve your stalls. However, I think with something like a bird stall specifically, so I mean for like a handle stall, concrete your bevel would be perfect. For a bird stall, I think the paint being so slick doesn't help much, and if this had a stickier paint, then the bird stalls would be even easier. So it's not just about the concreted bevel. There are a lot of things that go into different stalls, but long story short, concreting the bevel, it softens it up for sure, makes stalls a little bit easier, and is worth a shot if you don't mind the shredded paint look. But yeah, with that, let me know what's the next job for our man here to take on. I've been thinking I want to try somehow to make some kind of sticky paint or some kind of sticky coating to put on this Tama here, just for experimental fun purposes, of course, and then to show you what it's like. So go rub everything you have on the sidewalk and have a good one. Peace. Peace. Peace.